Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the Let's Keep Moving with Risha podcast. This is Risha. I'm a motivational speaker, content creator, and I love talking about things that will help you keep moving in your life, especially on areas like your life, mental health, love, growth, and everything in between. If you're ready, let's keep moving. I don't know if you guys notice that I am wearing an above average makeup today. I'm actually looking sa camera. Sa screen rather. And I really do appreciate it. I played with my makeup today. Sabi ko sisimplihan ko lang pero parang hindi simple to. But anyway, I played with my makeup and for me it actually turned out good. I don't know. The looks it's okay. I don't know if you appreciate it, but I appreciate it. But anyway, yeah, I feel like this is giving me a very clean look. But yeah. Anyway, I just want to quickly say that my voice sounds a little different still because of colds and because I wasn't feeling well for the past few days. But anyway, that's not gonna stop me from actually showing up today and meeting you every week because that has been our tradition. That has been our thing for like the past year. So, we're showing up today and we're going to talk about something so cool, something so relevant, something that a lot of you have experienced, and I know it. For the past couple of months, or several months ago, I felt like I lost this sense of community. I don't know if there's such a thing like that, but that's what I felt. So, that's how I love to define it. Parang na-feel ko na parang wala akong sense of community. I don't know, I have felt that for a long time sa school, pero for the past several months, yun yung talagang strongest dominating feeling for me. And I hate that feeling. But at the same time, it also calls for action, for actually reaching out to people and celebrating and spending time with them. The thing that I'm going to talk about today relates to that. Now that I've mentioned that I felt that lost of sense of community or sort of things like that, it's time that I also kind of relate it to adulthood. Sometimes 'di ba kapag tumatanda na tayo or kapag we're trying to enter the adulthood era or adulting itself, things are starting to change. Not just in terms of responsibilities, but in terms of our relationships with other people. It's time that you're not anymore like super attached sa friends mo or sa mga taong you used to spend time with. It's time to do things on your own. And sometimes while it's good, while it's there to help you grow, while it's there to actually help you become more independent, sometimes it's happening the other way around. It makes you feel isolated. It makes you feel lonely. It makes you feel more alone. And today, we're going to talk about things that I learned from my high school friends. I have always been dependent to these people. I've grown to love them. I've grown to love the relationship I built with them. And for the past like 4 to 6 years, I spent time with them. I want to start off with this context and with this story. I felt like this is the time na I'm actually telling you guys na I'm starting with a story because I felt like every episode, like for the past several months, I've always been like kwentuhan and all that. But this time, I'm officially saying it. We're starting with a story. Anyway, well, every episode naman is a story. Pero yeah, let's go back here. To give you context with everything that happened during high school, actually, we're not super close back in high school. I felt like we're close naman, but not super like attached towards each other, like a typical high school section. However, we've been together for like 4 years from grade 7 to grade 10 because back when we were in high school, there's this such thing as higher section and lower section. And kapag higher section ka, it means na from grade 7 to grade 10, kayo-kayo lang din yung magkakasama. Pero kapag nandun ka sa lower section, medyo nire-rumble yung list do'n. So, every year parang iba-iba yung mga kaklase mo. At some point, I heard like a point of view from a friend of mine na galing do'n sa lower section before. And sabi niya, it's kind of fun. And I was thinking, looking back, oo nga, no, parang every year, iba-iba yung kasama mo. Because like, my point before was, parang ang hirap naman mag-adjust nun. Every year, iba yung kaklase mo. Pero looking back, it could be fun kasi I got used to like every year, no excitement na, no need to introduce yourself, no need to like test the waters because you already know each other so well. But yeah, going back, knowing that we've been together like sa higher section, we've been together for like 4 years, it means na sa pagdami ng taon, pagdami ng mga petty high school issues, for sure makaka-relate kayo. Kasi I feel like yung mga viewers and you guys are still in their high school era or entering college, entering adulthood yan. Syempre, may mga high school issues and worse, minsan kasama pa yung mga teachers, ganyan. And hindi may iwasan na may mga grupo-grupo talaga. Which for me, looking back, is completely normal. You can't avoid that, na parang may mga grupo-grupo talaga. Kasi you're close with this group of friends, you feel comfortable with these people, therefore, you're going to spend more time with them. But anyway, those issues piled up, and during our fourth year together, it actually put a dent on our relationships as classmates. And nung naghiwa-hiwalay kami, honestly, hindi kami super okay together as a whole. So some of us are still getting in touch, especially may mga original circles talaga. Ako personally, I'm cool with all of them. As someone who has been like a student leader, I felt like for me lang naman, ito lang yung judgment ko. I feel like I'm really cool with all of them. I stay in touch with all of them via social media, knowing that this is also the work I do. And for example, yung friends ni Jurens na boys, I got so close with them then dahil kay Juren. So it's like it became a thing na pag nakikita sila, minsan napapasama ako. So it got a lot closer than even after that. But looking back, since grade 7, it's been 10 years. It's really been 10 years. And look at how time flies. It's so fast. Like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 6 years and then 4 years for college. That's over a decade. So there was this time a month ago, I think, that I kind of just messaged sa GC namin, which is still a bit active because everybody is like preparing for the board exam and having work. So I just kind of send a message na, Hoy, magkape naman tayo. And I was expecting that the people who would show up are just my original friends who were also my classmates, but people actually showed up. When I sent that message, we planned it like 2 days after. We're planning to see around 5 p.m., but people arrived at 6, like always. And I was actually expecting people to show up. Like, they would not say yes to GC if they would not actually show up. But I did not expect that people will show up with so much intention. When our coffee, parang, alam niyo yun, parang humuhupa na yung mga chika, I just decided to start off the conversation by asking everybody, how's everything? And what is your biggest lesson from the past 4 years? Kasi syempre, for the past 4 years, di kami magkakasama. Iba-iba yung mga kaklase namin. So, I am curious to know, and it would be such a great point of conversation to just tell the experience and the actual lesson they've learned. And it feels like it sums it all up. Kasi when you tell someone what they learned from the experience, it means that they're coming from a place of experience talaga, and lessons and hardships and struggles. So it's a nice point of conversation. So today, I am going to share with you guys the lessons I learned from these people. It's amazing kasi I just recently thought of sharing this with everybody. I refrained from I refrain from saying names. This is all that I've learned from them, okay? I'm not taking away their dialogues or their words, but I just want to personally put my personal touch on the lessons and how it also applies to my life, to your life. So if you're curious to know what I learned from our coffee meetup with my high school classmates, then without further ado, let's keep moving. Okay, the first thing, which is absolutely my favorite. This is an absolute favorite. And this is from an absolute favorite person. I love his jokes. You know, may mga kaklase talaga tayo before na nonchalant sila mag-joke. But this joke is actually the one that's so have. So, this is from this person, and nakala ko, alam mo yun, parang hindi mo ina-expect na manggagaling yung ganitong kind of wisdom from him. So, sabi niya, always give your 100%. And sobrang lalim ng explanation because the story was that when he found out that his classmates were actually running for cum laude or Latin honors yata, medyo disappointed siya sa sarili niya. Kasi alam niya kaya niya din yun. Kasi alam niya na if he had only put the work, if he had only put in the hard work, he would have got the same thing. He would have been recognized. He would have had that award or that recognition. It's just that hindi niya nga binigay yung 100% niya. And I wanna start by saying that it hit me differently. Like, it hit me right to my core because it applies so much to my life. Um, I for sure am very confident na alam niyo na yung story ko sa college. I'm sure na if you're listening to my podcast right now, you know I'm an irregular student, you know I'm a shifty, you know I came from engineering to psychology. But if you're new here, yeah, I came from engineering to psychology. I was a top achiever back in high school and everything got so swayed and different now that in college. But anyway, I want to go back to that conversation kasi oo nga 'no, kaya ko naman, kaya mo naman. It's just that we didn't give our 100%. We didn't give our all. Like, I know I can do it. I have done it before in high school. It's just that I chose not to. Kasi parang for the longest time, I've been living in this victim mentality na, kaya hindi ako nag-excel sa college is because I don't have friends, I don't have people with me, I don't have the right foundation or the right start since shifty nga ako and irregular student ako ngayon. And I felt like if regular student ako, it would have been so different. But looking back, all those words I said, it was just an excuse. Like, I know I can do something. It's just that I'm not studying super hard. I don't know, but that's just it. It's not because of my circumstance, like I'm a shifty or I am an irreg. It's because I didn't study hard. And it took me so much courage to say this to you because I felt like the world would understand me why I am not excelling anymore in college. Yes, I chose to, but I kind of accepted the path anyway. Kasi, nandito na din naman ako. There's no point to proving myself anymore. I'm doing content, I'm working, I'm having fun naman with all the other things I'm doing, which is true. Like, super true. I would have still chose this path anyway. But since that classmate of ours told that always give your 100% to the group, it just made me think about everything again. Now I know I can do it. I know I could have done something. I know I could have worked hard. I know I could have studied better. I know I could have been approved or be given that Latin honors award. It's just that I was really not studying hard. As much as parang gusto ko sabihin na, kasi yung mga professors ko ganito. No, I love my professors. They are amazing. They did their job so well. They are great mentors and great professors. They are great educators. It's just that I know I can do more. It's just that I'm not doing enough or more. Yeah, I hope you get me. But it also hit me to the core when this classmate of mine told me na puro daw tayo one day gagawin ko 'to, one day mag-aaral ako, one day I'll get this. Pero kailan yung day one? Kailan mo sisimulan? Kailan mo isa-start yang exercise journey or yang fitness journey mo? Kailan ka mag-uumpisang mag-show up for you? Kailan mo isa-start yung business na yan na matagal mo nang pinag-iisipan? We're always thinking about one day I'll have this, one day I'll have that. But when is that day gonna come? I am sorry for telling that to you, but I'm also getting triggered on my end. So, when are we actually going to start showing up for ourselves, 'di ba? Something like that. Something to think about. That's the first one that I learned from the coffee meetup. Um, it's deep. It's also something that you can reflect on. Pero before we move on to the second one, I feel like my voice really sounds awkward, pero no one can stop me talaga. I want to share this today. Before we get to move on to the second one, I would really appreciate it na if you found value in this podcast, it would really mean a lot to me if you can take a moment to give this episode a 5-star rating on your preferred podcast platform. If you also see the follow button, please follow us here, follow me here. Your ratings and reviews will really help us reach more people, and it will actually help us continue delivering meaningful content. The second lesson na natutunan ko from that coffee meetup is that always go back to your family. So, kung ang first natin is always give your 100%, the second one is always go back to your family. Here kasi sa Taal, you have to go to the city, like sa Batangas City, to have access sa mga diverse courses. Or you can go to Manila din, pero pinakamalapit na is Batangas City. May ino-offer naman sa malapit, of course, pero yung mga courses here sa province is very limited lang. And minsan, or most of them, may mga tuition. Pero syempre, sa state university, wala. And sabi ng kaklase ko na to, na nitong nag-college daw siya, when everything was so heavy, kapag stress na daw siya, nakakagaan daw pala ng loob pag kinukwento mo sa pamilya mo yung nangyari. Na parang kapag uuwi ka ng Taal, and it's true, I feel it, I felt it a lot of times. Kapag uuwi ka ng Taal, kapag sakay ka sa bus, parang dun mo na-feel na parang gumagaan. Like, physically gumagaan and nawawala talaga yung mga problems na nakuha mo sa city. I mean sa school. So parang, let's not underrate our family's ability to help you distress. Many can relate in a way that their family has been their biggest support system during the tough times. But I know that many are also not experiencing the same thing. Well, I understand both spectrums, pero if you can do something about it naman, why not? 'Di ba? In a world where everyone is like pushed to cut off their family off or people close to you because they're toxic and they have this attitude that you don't like, they have this toxicity, I'll still say that your family is your family. No matter what circumstance or situation that is, a family is a family. You know, it might not work for everybody. It might not work for you because you might have experienced abuse or hardships or really tough challenges in your household. But if it's not too much, then please, at least do something about it. But that's just really what stuck with me. Super nakarelate ako. Kasi sometimes, you don't even have to tell them your problems eh. Kasi personally, hindi naman ako nagkukwento talaga ng problema ko sa family, especially if it's very personal problems. But if everything else fails, I know I've got my family with me. If everything else fails, I know my mama and my papa and my sister got me. Oh my gosh, I can be very emotional right now. But I've appreciated my family ever since I got into college, and especially during the past couple of months. They were there with me during the toughest of times. And time has tested us already eh. My family is God's grace. My family is God's gift. So I once thought that my family can be easily given up. Parang ang dali-dali na lang niya sabihin na, okay, if gusto niyo maghiwalay, maghiwalay kayo. But looking at how intact, or like how strong our bond is, not just my parents, but the whole family. I know that like any storm, no storm talaga can even wreck it apart. And I'm grateful for it. And hopefully you also get to adopt this light from me na even if things are falling apart, even if you're almost there to like say na, wala nang pag-asa to. Like, wala nang pag-asa na mabuo yung pamilya ko. I hope you get to hold on to this little tiny string na baka pwede pa, na baka you can do something about it. So, yun. Next is, quickly lang, itong number 3, go out of your comfort zone. So this classmate of mine took the leap of faith to go out of our section sa first section and go down sa second section. So the story was, to be able to go sa first section, you have to maintain certain average, which I don't have any idea what that average is. So nung nag-grade 10 kami, nun lang parang naging na-approved yung certain standard na yon. So, yung ilan kong mga boys na kaklase was not given the chance to make amends and do something about it. Kasi, nun lang nga magi-grade 10 kami, na-approved yun. So, they have to go sa lower section. I just wanna make it clear that I don't have anything against lower sections or higher sections. It's just that it was the term coined before to separate our section from the lower ones. But it's okay. I know it sounds a bit off and it sounds discriminating, but that's the term I'm using right now. I don't have anything against lower section students. I love these people. I worked with them. I have been a student for all the years during high school and I worked with these people. So, yeah, basically, why am I explaining? So, yeah, looking back, nag-explain ako dito sa nangyaring situation back in high school. There was this classmate of mine na nung na-approve na, like, nagawa na ng paraan na mapapunta yung mga boys kong kaklase ulit back to the higher section, he chose to stay sa lower section. And, ewan ko kung may mga kaklase ako makakapanood nito. But anyway, I'd love to share this, since it's anonymous naman. So, he chose to stay. And, if I'm not mistaken, sabi niya, it was his best decision ever daw because he was forced to step out of his comfort zone. I don't know what this means for you. Kasi nung nasa lower section na daw siya, nung nasa section na daw siya, he was forced to be the leader. He was forced to lead the class. He was forced to be the one who will step up kasi galing siyang first section, so parang he knows better and all that. So it's only a proof na you will really, really take so much joy and so much reward from actually stepping out of your comfort zone. I just want to say that this person, this classmate of mine, is already a professor. Yeah, a high school teacher. And it's amazing. Kasi you might be one decision away from a totally different life. Like, yes, I'm telling this straight to your eyes. You might be one decision away from a totally different life. Baka nakahayo na talaga sa yung opportunity to go out of your comfort zone. Hindi ka lang nakatingin or di kaya hindi ka naghahanap. So, let me ask you, what decisions are you still not making? So, whether you choose this or whether you choose that, you still have to make that decision. And it's not a matter of whether it's right or wrong. What matters is you make this decision right now. Because sometimes the most successful people are not the people who actually made the right decisions. The most successful people are actually the ones who make faster decisions. When you're taking so much of your time or so much of your energy to make decisions, you still don't know eh. You'll only know whether a decision was right or wrong years after you make the decision. But when you're there, when you're about to make it, you don't have any idea how it's gonna turn out. So, it's a matter of how fast you make that decision. You don't have to make huge leaps right away. Identify one small risk na tolerable for you or one that you can take. And then it could be like trying a new hobby. It could be attending a social event. It could be speaking up sa class. These little tiny things can really help you build the confidence for a much bigger risk that you're about to make in the future. Like, hindi mo siya kailangang madaliin. That's the third one. So let's just go back to the first one. First one is always give your 100%. Second is always go back to your family. Third is, yun nga, go out of your comfort zone. The fourth one is actually so deep, and this is my next absolute favorite. Um, you're not always at the top. I have this best friend who shared this lesson. And I was like, oo nga, no. That was supposed to be mine. Pero I have this best friend who was a consistent top of her batch since elementary. And um her story humbles me because I am always inspired by this person. I love how calm this human being is, and I love how kind, empathetic, and how this person would step up for me, and how would this person would really go out of her way to protect me and to be with me. Like, I super appreciate this person. She is my best friend. And this lesson na shinare niya during the coffee meetup hit me right to my core kasi it made me realize na you don't always have to be at the top. You are not always at the top. And you don't always have to be peaking. Yes, just as peaks are important, so are the valleys. So are the rest and the reflection. Yes, success and happiness are not constant states. There's no such thing as one person na puro success and puro happiness na lang all the time. Because if that's the case, life would be a total boredom. Life would be boring. There will be times of growth and achievement. And honestly, I wish more of that for myself. I wish more of that for you. I want more of that for all of us. But there are also times of rest and recognition. And during these times of reflection and rest, and I want you to listen to me, it's also a great time to realize that the peak of one mountain can be the bottom of another mountain. Which means, kaya mo na-reach yung peak ng mountain na yan ay para makita mo na may mas mataas pa na mountain, and that is for you to realize that there is more for you. That you can climb another mountain. The fact that you have climbed that mountain and reached its peak only means that you can climb another one. And here's the thing, and I want you to listen carefully. Had you not climbed that first mountain and reached its peak, you wouldn't have seen the peak of another mountain. The moment I realize this particular lesson is the moment I realize that I am meant to reach that peak because it will prepare me for even higher peaks ahead. And allow me to tell this to you. You are meant to reach that peak because it will prepare you for even higher peaks ahead. You know, we might feel like we're complacent. Okay, what's the next thing? Okay, nakagraduate na ako ng high school, ng college. What's the next thing? Like, feeling ko na-reach ko na yung peak ko. But no. It means that there are higher peaks ahead. And you're supposed to climb it all. And hopefully explain that well. Kasi it's time that I inspire and I empower the younger generation, specifically yung mga young adults. Kaya this episode is really for young adults eh. It's time that I make you realize na it's not done yet. The fact that you're breathing, the fact that you have that breathing pattern with you, it only means one thing. You're not done yet. You're not done climbing mountains. You're not done peaking. And you may not always be at the top, but that only means that it's a sign for you to rest and to reflect. There is more for you. And I want you to be convinced about that. You know, this episode might be too shallow for you to realize that and for you to fully have this kind of assurance na, ay, oo nga, this peak of one mountain is only the bottom of another and there's more for me. But I hope this is such a great place to start for you. After all, mindset is so hard to shift. It takes practice, it takes showing up, it takes consistency. Pero, ayun, sana na-introduce tong mindset na to sa'yo. And hopefully, you get to go back to this mindset every time things are feeling stagnant or you feel stuck. The next thing that I'd also like to talk, since I learned this from our coffee meetup, is how important it is to focus on enjoying the thing first before you worry about being good at it. I have this very close friend, which I so love the energy she's radiating. She's so passionate with her work. She is a teacher right now. And I'm so grateful to be able to um, have this relationship with this person. Kasi sobrang fun lang. Alam niyo yun, yung there's this really someone na, you're not really like best friends. Pero when you get along, it's actually like you understand each other's language. And she is that person for me. So, syempre, nung nag-start kami ng college, like yung batch namin was online. And there's this one subject daw na she got tres yata as her grade. And she was really disappointed ata. Or 2.75, I'm not sure. Pero nung na-meet niya daw ulit tong professor na to, and sabi niya, dun sa subject na yon, she'll enjoy it. She doesn't have any idea if she'll be able to thrive sa course. Basta, she's going to focus on being consistent and she's going to focus on enjoying the subject first. And it paid off. Kasi she really did enjoy the subject. So it just goes to show that sometimes you have to focus on enjoying it first rather than worrying about being good at it. And this is actually what I also shared during the conversation, which makes it valid to share this as the fifth one. Kasi ito yung shinare ko. Like, your perspective about life, about daily life, will totally change if you focus on enjoying what you're doing and just extracting the lessons you're getting from the experience. Ang hirap when you are forcing yourself to be good at something kasi you don't enjoy it naman. But what if you just enjoy it first and then once you enjoy it, do it consistently and then you'll be surprised. You'll be good at it. This is also shared by one of my favorite YouTubers, Ali Abdal. Focus on enjoying the thing first before you become good at it. And maybe that's also something you have to consider in your life. You know, friends, life flies so fast. It has been 10 freaking years since 7th grade. And one hard truth about being an adult is that responsibilities can be overwhelming. It can really feel overwhelming. As a child, many decisions are made for us. Where do we go to school? Where do we celebrate Christmas? Where do we go to celebrate our birthdays? What clothes is or fit for me? And there's this sense of freedom and simplicity in that. I would love not to think and have my parents decide everything back when I was a child. But once you become an adult, once you are faced with this huge responsibility from managing finances, you are faced with this na eh. From managing finances to finding your purpose, to finding the job that fits your skill sets, to maintaining relationships, to finding the one, to making your career work, to making career choices, and even navigating your personal health and mental health or physical health. Ikaw na lahat to. Like, your mom can offer advice, your dad can give you tremendous wisdom, but you have to make the decision on your own. And kapag nagde-decision ka na ng mga bagay na to, and it didn't turn out well, knowing that we're naive or we didn't know any better, you have no other person to blame but you. And here's the thing, you have to embrace this reality. Because adulting is about embracing that reality. It's also important to remember that, yes, you can seek support. Yes, you can build boundaries. And yes, you can take one step at a time. You've got this, and remember that every great story starts with someone stepping into the unknown. And I hope that you're that someone. That's about it, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you got some insights, and I'd love to know your thoughts. It would be great if you can answer me sa poll section. Are you enjoying adulthood? Like, I was thinking about this poll question. Sabi ko, ano kayang pwedeng maitanong sa mga nakikinig sa akin at nanonood sa akin? Like, simply, are you enjoying adulthood? Because this is such a long conversation, di ba? And you can also explain it in the comments. Like, how's life recently? How's adulthood or adulting recently? You can also share your favorite takeaways on social media. Please, guys, don't be shy to tag me or mention me, because as soon as I see it, I'll reshare it on my stories, because your feedback and thoughts are so invaluable to me, and I can't wait to share what resonated most with you. Again, this has been your friend and your host, Risha. Know that I am grateful for you. I have always been. I know you could have been somewhere else for the past 30 or 40 minutes, I don't know, but you chose to be here. And that's already a commitment from your end. So I'm grateful for that. I have always been. And I'm rooting for you. I really am rooting for you. I'm rooting for you big time. I'll see you in the next few days. Don't forget to always keep moving. Bye!